Hi everyone, Tom here, and welcome back to episode 13 of the Rangers Revival. Hopefully it will be a lucky one for us and not unlucky. Today we have a game at home against Hamilton Academical Football Club. And there's quite a bit to catch you up on, and as you know there'll be 7 games played. So let's just get right into that. But actually, before that, some transfer business to tell you about. First of all, we're looking to bring in Bournemouth defender Steve Cook. He's a decent centre-back. Would be there for cover for Wilson and Kiernan. Well, he's not done yet. That's only a potential deal. Now, in terms of transfers in, there has been 4. Firstly, Alexander Esvine has joined from Augsburg for a fee of 750k. I wanted an out-and-out right winger, and Esvine was one of the best available on the market. I tried for Callum McManaman. I couldn't agree a contract with him. So S5 was not a bad alternative. As you can see, he's very, very quick. Got decent stats for the winger position that we want. And he has joined, and he scored in his debut in the Cup, which we'll tell you about later. No goals or assists in the league yet, but we'll come on to that again in a little bit. Next up, Ryan Gould. We brought him in on a loan deal until the end of the season from Sporting. Again, he is there just to cover our midfield. He's actually the best attacking left midfielder we've got, and one of the best centre mids we've got. So he's a very useful player to have off the bench. As you can see, he's come off the bench in all 4 games we've played with him so far. Haven't seen a great deal from him, but hopefully he's just taking a little bit of time to settle down again. Next up, a defensive midfielder. First team I'm trying to play him as, just so he grows as quickly as possible. That Jack Leach. I'll go with Lech. I'm sure you guys will correct me if I'm wrong. Very good young Scottish midfielder. Plays that ball-winning midfielder role very well. He's got great bravery, got good physicals for it as well. I'm very happy with the deal for him. Only 250k that cost us. And he's been okay in the games he's played so far without setting the world on fire. But I wouldn't really expect him to. Now finally, is a player called Tom Miles. He is a young regen. I brought him in from Wolverhampton Wanderers on a 175k deal. He's not good enough for the first team yet, so he's just chilling down there in our under-20s. Him and a few other prospects will really be focusing on developing towards the end of this season and all of next season. Now, in terms of games played, the last game you saw was the 1-0 defeat against Celtic, and as you can see, there's been a couple more defeats since. Thankfully, we bounced back from the Celtic result, winning 2-1 against Hearts. We went 1-0 up through Craig Sibbald before Sam Nicholson equalised, but Jason Cummings scored on the 32nd minute to put us 2-1 up and got us the win in a very close game. Next up was a 1-0 victory against Kilmarnock. Rob Kiernan, I believe that was his first ever goal for the club. No, it wasn't. I don't know what that meant then. The commentary said something about it, but I didn't quite catch what. But he scored the only goal of the game. A 1-0 goal. Flip it, I can't talk. A 1-0 victory against Kilmarnock, enough to get us to 3 points. Next up was another 1-0 victory. 1-0 win over St Johnstone away. Craig Sibbald scored before Wes Fotheringham saved a penalty from Boddle. A poor performance from us. We weren't good enough, and we had to really grind that result out. Thankfully we did, and we got the win. Next up, a cup game against Hibs. A game we were doing very well in. SVI made his debut and put us ahead on the 51st minute. And then Aaron Cool got himself sent off. They had equalised before that had happened, but after that sending off happened, we couldn't cope. It was all Hibs, and then they scored 2 more goals and knocked us out of the cup. So no silverware for us this year, it doesn't look like. But hopefully next year will be a better year in terms of cup competitions, because this year was terrible. We then played Aberdeen, a team in 3rd place, and they beat us 1-0. Ryan Jack with the goal, the only goal of the game, in a very even contest. We played okay, they played okay, but they just got the better of us, scored with one of their first real attempts, and then nothing more could be done. We lost 1-0. Then we almost did it again. Dundee we played, bottom of the table Dundee, and we went 1-0 down. Craig Whiten scored in the 28th minute before Jason Cummings equalised with a penalty. He then scored again, Whiten, on the 47th minute before Cummings equalised again in the 85th, and then Ryan Hardy came off the bench to score a last grasp equaliser in the last minute of extra time. As you can see, Waghorn here, he crosses it in, it's sort of scrambled and he gets the tap in. Really happy for the lad, his first goal since coming back from injury, and it got us the victory. So well done to you, Ryan Hardy. And then we played Hibs again, and we've drawn 0-0. A game with no chances really. We played okay. Cummings had a really good chance to put us 1-0 up, but didn't take it. Unfortunately, no one else stepped up to score either. So I might look for a lone striker who's as good as Cummings or better to back us up in case Cummings doesn't play well. Because I do want to develop Hardy. I do want to develop him, but he's not there at the moment. And he has been a little bit unlucky with his injury. He had quite a big injury, didn't he, at the beginning of the season, and he hasn't really got forced his way back in yet. But he's on the bench most games to come off and try and, influence what happens. Now, today we play Hamilton. The way we've been playing recently, I'm not sure how this is going to go. They are bottom of the league, but we played Dundee and they gave us a good game. We only beat Kilmarnock 1-0. We drew, I think, 2-2 with Ross County. We only beat St Johnstone 1-0. So we're not playing our best football, but we are still 5 points clear of third placed Aberdeen with a game in hand. So we win this, we go 8 points clear of them. So I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful with this one. Unfortunately, one's knackered because we have got a lot of games at the moment. Thankfully, after this one, we've got a bit of a gap. So I'm gonna be asking players to really push themselves and try and just cope. Jack Litch is going to sit this one out because he is tired. Cool is a decent replacement though. And I've seen Sybil's a little bit tired, so I'm going to play Ryan Gould, but I'm going to keep the defence the same. That's not true. Tavernier's coming in. Gould on out on the left. Sybil on the bench if we need him, and see if he can make a difference if need be. Hopefully we won't need to rely on him. So that's the lineup. There's Esvine making a start again. Lech has been left out. Elderson's back in after his Acon duty. Wallace didn't really perform that great, but he isn't exactly fit. But yeah, let's get into this. We are odds-on favourites, so let's hope we can get a result. We're going to close down Crawford a bit. I'm thinking McGrandles as well, because usually that kind of position that does play a lot of passes. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to be assertive with them, expect nothing but a win, then we'll try and get a better reaction out of them. Having said that, there you go, it's almost a perfect team talk. Only 2 players didn't react positively, but they didn't react negatively either. Okay lads, I expect to see a better performance from you today. Expect to see lots of goals. Let's go. Okay, 3 minutes in, there's already a highlight. Good job lads. Cool here. Tavernier. He does his man, whips in the ball. Cummings goal, 1-0 Rangers. Yes, the start I wanted. Oh, I had it quite a lot recently where I just sat here and watched. So it's really nice to see a score so early in the game. Tavernier making the most of his start, whipping in the cross, and it's Cummings to tap it in. Tavernier, sorry, I might as well just nickname James Tavernier in that. Get rid of the I and just add another E. If that is the fact that it's pronounced that way. But regardless, it's looking okay. I only hit 2 off target, 2 blocked as well. Only 2 on target, but it's going to be an equaliser, surely. Wow. Poor defending from that free kick, but we've got away with it. It was a half chance for them though. I can't help but feel they should have scored that. As we can see, Celtic are winning against Hearts. 2-0 now. So it looks like the title is out of reach for us, but the way things are going, we're definitely getting Europa League, which is exactly what we wanted. Okay, so Jason Holt's only playing 6.5, but we are playing well. I said they're capable of better. They haven't reacted well to that, so we're going to just try and influence that a bit better. And I'm not going to change anything because we're going alright. I'll keep an eye on Holt's performance. He's on the 6.4. Elderson's on 6.5, although Wallace isn't actually on the bench today. But Holt, we've got the potential to substitute off. Elderson with a long throw here. That's a really poor one. Gould now. To Mallon, back to Gould. I don't know what he's doing. He's making progress though. He's hit it, it's deflected, and no one's reacted to fumble from the keeper. It's unlucky. Doesn't look like... Oh, yes, the highlight is over indeed. Okay. But I'm happy with how things are going. In general with Rangers, we're doing all right. We can afford a couple of slip-ups, although against Hamilton we shouldn't even be considering slipping up against them. But they have created a couple of chances against us, a couple of half chances. Kiernan, I thought he had messed up there. But I feel like with the way this league's gone, it's obvious Celtic are better than everyone else in the league. That much is clear. I feel like we are a touch better than most of the other teams in the league, but not by the degree Celtic are, and Celtic are better than us. So that's kind of... Oh, what a save from Foderingham. That was terrible defending there. We're getting a bit... I don't know what to do there. I'm going to take Holt off. He's playing better, but he's not playing as good as he can. I'm going to bring on Sibbald instead, put Gould in the middle. And see how that goes. But it's evident that Celtic are better than us because we can't even get close to beating them. So next year we need to make the right signings, make some good signings to try and bridge the gap a little bit as Esvine scores to make it 2-0. And once we've bridged the gap between us and Celtic, I feel like this is there's going to be quite a few phases to this series based on what I want to achieve. The first phase was getting promoted. The second phase was establishing ourselves as a Premiership side. That has happened a lot quicker than I thought it would be. And now we've got the third phase, which is becoming that dominant team in Scotland, and that's going to take 1 or 2 seasons, I'd imagine. Celtic are a good side, but they're not amazing as Elderson scores. So once we've that's the next part of this series. I know I want European glory, and getting into the Europa League will give us a little bit of a financial boost, but what the real pinnacle is the Champions League. We get to the Champions League group stages, automatically we're getting like 8 million for appearing and 10 million for TV money at the end of each season, something along those lines, which will really benefit us, and that's the advantage Celtic have over us at the moment. So that's what we've got to contend with. But once we've established ourselves as the best team in Scotland, it should be fairly routine in building ourselves into a decent Champions League side. So the league is almost just a distraction from the Champions League almost. Winning the Champions League is going to be very difficult. Europa League is more feasible. Not now it isn't, obviously, but eventually it will be, as this is another good save from Foderingham. But the long-term goal of this save is to win the Champions League. If it goes like 15 seasons in, or 10, 15 seasons... Oh, shit. Oh, bloody hell. They should have scored a couple in this, Hamilton. As I said, if this save gets to about 15 years in, if I do get that many seasons done, I don't know if I will. They have scored. They do deserve that, to be fair. We'll reconsider what's going on. But hopefully we can win a European competition pretty quickly with this team, just to so we don't sort of stagnate and become a boring series, because it'll be boring if we're just winning the league, getting knocked out of the Champions League, winning the league, getting knocked out of the Champions League. It won't be much fun there, will there? But we'll take that as it comes. We've got to become the best team in Scotland first, so we'll see what happens there. As it looks like we're going to get the 3-1 win here. It'd been nice to get the clean sheet, but at the end of the day, the win was the important thing, and we are fortunate. Hamilton did create quite a few chances, so we weren't great defensively, but Foderingham had a very good game. But we got a 3-1 victory, which is very, very nice. Mallon with man of the match, Cummings, Esvine and Elderson with the goals, and we're looking good. There's only 7 games left of the normal season before the league splits, and we have 5 extra games. So we're looking pretty much guaranteed for that top 3 position now. Elderson's a bit tired, but he'll cope. We'll show you the league table again, but there we are, 55 points, 5 behind Celtic, 8 above Hibernian, Aberdeen, and 15 above Hibernian, so we're pretty much guaranteed. Next game will be actually St Johnstone, the last game of the proper season. Hope you've enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and if you're new, subscribe, and I will catch you all next time. Cheers for watching.